This video, we're gonna go over all the cool projects we're working on in the shop. Let's go check it out. This is a JK that came in, a guy just bought it, wanted us to check it out. Really in pretty nice shape, has a bunch of good parts on it. The rear pinion angle was screwed up, which was affecting a lot of things. The track bar brackets hitting the shocks, stuff like that. So we were adjusting the control arms, a couple of steering parts that needed and replaced the shocks because some of the shocks that were on it were leaking. So now we're in the process of just adjusting the control arms, and we'll get it on the alignment rack and make sure everything's square. Next here, we're gonna walk into our more inventory area. There's wheels and tires stacked everywhere behind me. Most of the vehicles that come in here get wheels and tires. We got a BDS lift kit that just showed up. We've got a worn bumper, a couple of worn winches, more Nitto tires, more Nitto tires, more Nitto tires, a bunch of KMC wheels. Then we got Carly lift kits. We got Metal Cloak Jeep lift kits, some Bilstein shocks, some airbags, just a bunch of the normal stuff we do around here, and they're stacking up because we are booked out. Jeepster project is everybody wants us to be working on, but obviously we're way too busy to spend any time on that. But we have worked a little bit on brakes and steering recently, but not a whole lot more on that to come. Another JK, bearing failure in the back. Got gears that aren't that old in it, and it's got an exploded bearing, so we just pulled the cover to look into that. Sounds like it get a full rebuild. We're working on the ground today. We're taking the bumpers and sliders off of this Bronco. It's already got a bunch of long travel parts on it from Desolate and Solo, stuff like that. We're taking this build to the next level now. We're doing some different bumpers, some PRP seats, some more suspension stuff, wheels and tires. So cool to see the change of this one. We started this one when it was mostly stock, and over the years I've kind of built it up. So looking forward to that one. Moving on, we got an Ultra 4 car. This one's been around for a few years here in the Northwest, and raced King of the Hammers a bunch of times, and it got a big motor, new trans, and it needs custom stainless headers built that are bigger diameter. So going to a 2-inch primary header. They're big up over the top headers. Just got all the parts here to start building those, so over the next week or so we'll get that done. Bay 1 here, we have this newer 4Runner. It already had Icon suspension on it, but the customer wanted the front to come up about a 1/2 inch. He wanted some bigger tires, stuff like that on it. While I was in here, we realized that the uniballs in the upper control arms were wore out, so we're gonna convert to the Delta joints, which are a ball joint, do a cab mount cup. We're putting about a 3 size bigger tire on it. We are gonna put it all together. We trim the cab mount cup, but before we plate it in, we're gonna verify everything clears, and then we'll plate it in, align it, and be done. Bay 2, we got another Ford Raptor. You've seen us have these in here before. It's got a bunch of miles on it. Shocks were destroyed, so shock rebuild, a few front end parts, ball joints. It'll get on the alignment rack, go back together, be ready to go back to the customer. Moving on, the Land Rover bumpers, the cage, the sliders, all that stuff is at powder right now. And this thing should be leaving here in a week or so. It's running, driving, been aligned. Everything's great. We rewired a bunch of it. The last things we'll have to do is some of the storage in the back of it, but that will come at another time. The customer's gonna take it for a week or so, go to some events. We're pushing on this thing to get it done from powder coat, get everything reassembled so he can fly in from the Caribbean and take it for a week, and then he will go back to the Caribbean and we'll finish the back. We are packed in here, but this is an ARB bumper on a diesel Colorado. Customer supply parts, he had a Badlands winch, so we're having to index both sides of the Badlands winch and make a mount for the control box before we get the bumper even start fitted to the truck. So these are big jobs, these ARBs on these trucks. There's just a lot of little things to them, but that's one of the things that makes the ARB bumper so nice. Tony's working on indexing the winch, and then we'll get the thing on the truck, and hopefully this will still leave today. You've seen lots on this Blazer also. 71 Blazer Roadster Shop chassis, their Legends chassis. We're done with most of the metal work. We're on to some final things, some of the plumbing and the heat and AC pieces of it. The full interior is here now, so that's getting fitted. And once all that stuff is done, the new top will be here in a week or so. This thing's hopefully a month or so away from headed off to paint. So we got to finish all our final little things, make sure everything we have, it's pretty much done other than final stuff to make it drive. Then it'll go to paint, then it'll come back. Hopefully we don't have to make a single hole in this thing or anything. So every Adele clamp, everything needs to be placed. Next to that, in the same sandblast color, we have a Ford bump side that we are doing a 2-wheel drive long travel kind of back half pre-runner kit on. So we are basically going to do all the tube work and chassis work, set up the front suspension and cage, rear back half, fuel cell, rear diff, stuff like that. So a lot to do here. It just got dropped off. We're waiting on a few fiberglass pieces so we can start on the front suspension. We bent a tube for the cage. That's about as far as we've gone, but it's Really excited about this project. It's going to be pretty cool. You'll see more of this, I'm sure, in the coming months. It may surprise you, but there's another JK here. This one is getting ready to go to the Rubicon. We already did a once over on this thing and realized that it needed some bump stops and spring adjustments. So we ordered those parts. It's back. We're putting a little bit taller spring in it and a better rear bump stop. When he's loaded to go to the Rubicon, he's real heavy and he was just on the bump stops all the time. So we gave it a little height adjustment and put a better bump stop in the rear. Metalcloak has a really cool bump stop for these. That's just going together now. As soon as he's done with that, we'll get it on the alignment rack, get it all squared up and out of here. You've seen lots of this Land Rover. We are pretty much done with it now. We just finished up the exhaust and all the turbo plumbing on it. Really cool stuff that Dylan made, and heat shields and heat wrapped and wiring, coilovers, 3-link on the front. Bunch of work we did do it. It is basically done for now. It's going to go to the customer. He's going to get it running, driving, and then we're going to give the rear the same treatment. Dylan's doing a couple of little shifter things inside, and this one will be done for now. More of our bigger projects here. This is a Ford Dent side that a good customer of ours is building a lot of it himself, but we're gonna do a Super Duty chassis, Super Duty axles and suspension with a 7.3 Godzilla motor and make that all work with the old body. So cool kind of Restomod 4-wheel drive with a big motor. And we're just to the stages of this where we're working on body mounts and fitting everything. Looks pretty messy and grimy because it is, but lots to do here. We're just kind of in the planning stages of this one. CJ8, obviously you've seen a lot of this before. We've ordered a lot of parts. We're waiting on some custom built parts. We did receive the rear axle shafts. Engine wiring, plumbing is mostly done. Next is going to be exhaust, which is a big project, and that's not happening here. That's going to happen on the next hoist over as soon as we get a chance to swap these two out. So in the coming months, you'll see quite a bit on exhaust and interior on this one, but this one's getting real close. We are outside of the shop now. There's all these trucks that are either waiting to get in or are waiting to get picked up. Let's go over a few of them quickly. One, we have this white ZJ. This needed a whole bunch of front end parts, but it had a whole bunch of weird stuff on it, Heim joints, and you know, as these things get modified over the years, someone's got to figure it all out. So we got the front end all put back together. We're waiting to put some pinion bearings in the rear, trying to just get this thing to be able to drive down the road for a little while longer. From there, we have this K-Series Chevy, cool truck. Customers, older guy uses it for plowing. It had ARBs front and rear, and over the years they started leaking. So we went through and basically completely went through the diffs and fixed a bunch of little things all the way through them. We didn't have to fully rebuild them, but more or less we touched every part of them to make everything work again so he can plow some more. Next to that, this green Tundra got a full rear diff rebuild. Someone had been in it and assembled a bunch of parts wrong, and of course that ended up grenading the rear end. So it is back together. Back around this side, we have this early JK. We've talked about it some. It's got a LS conversion in it, and customer actually took it and left and made it a couple 100 miles down the road, and it randomly turned off on him. Ended up getting it back here and couldn't figure out what happened. And long story short, a little bug had got through the air filter and got stuck in the mass airflow sensor, and the Jeep thought it was basically getting wide open throttle air, and so as soon as you went to idle, it would flood itself out. And not an easy thing to sort out, but we did. So a tiny little beetle cost this guy a day of driving and some screwing around. So we got it sorted out. He's just waiting for a time where he can come back and get it. So he just got unlucky that day. Next to that, you're gonna see Timmy's truck. That one we originally built for SEMA a year or two ago. Cool Tundra. It's got a whole bunch of parts on it, and you'll see it in the background, a lot of this stuff. What we have here is we have an F-150. It had a 6-inch lift on it. Customer did not want that, but they cut the frame. So we put the frame cross member back in it, did a Bilstein 5100 leveling kit on it, some wheels and tires. Got it looking how the customer wants. He just really wanted this specific year 5.0 F-150. So we got that looking just the way he wants. Pretty excited to get that out of here. That's been a cool project, a lot involved in that. The next one, you've seen this El Camino. Since you saw it last time, we ended up doing these cool white Detroit steel wheels, 20s in the front, 22s in the back, Nitto 555s on it. We did the side pipes, finished up all the LS conversion stuff, putting it back together. It's running and driving. It just came in for like a 500-mile checkup, and it's heading back out today. This Avalanche is just a current drop-off lifted truck. It got a bunch of parts in the front of it, a bunch of kryptonite steering, different stuff, but he's still got some play in some stuff, and we haven't seen the truck. So we're gonna go over that on Monday and get to the bottom of why there's play in his steering and go from there. Here, this is a quick job today, just a couple of rear king shocks on Colorado. This is the AT4X truck that had the DSSV shocks on it, and rear shocks blew out of it, so we swapped to the King 2.5s. I've heard lots of great stuff about this. I haven't got a chance to drive it yet, but as far as the ride of the King, it's supposed to be really good. Next to that, Jeep Gladiator, bunch of parts on this thing, and was having a rear locker issue, and so we're getting to the bottom of that. It's not kind of a normal thing because it's not a factory locker. It's got an ARB in the rear, and to control that with the Rubicon and everything takes some doing, and this one was done when it was brand new, so there's some better stuff out now we're converting to make that all work. Next to that, we have this Super Duty. I don't know if you guys have seen any of this. This is a overlanding Super Duty. The guy is a big rafter, and he puts these big river rafts up on top, and then he puts a motorcycle on the front, and he puts the raft down, parks the truck at the end, and then rides the motorcycle up. And plus he lives and camps out of this thing. So it's got more stuff. It looks like it's got a lot on it, but it's got way more than you can even see on it. So it's coming in for some more stuff and some more power systems, things like that. Back here around the far side of the building, we do have a fence lot that some stuff gets stored into and we can't take it all in. We have a truck that's gonna be here for a couple weeks waiting on parts. Customers are out of town and they don't wanna come get it. So it's sitting here, a couple other ones just waiting on stuff. They're scheduled next week. Hopefully we can get them out of here soon. That does it for this month's YouTube. That is the Whirlwind 2-cent tour of what we got going on in the shop. I hope you'll join us again next month.